world where physical health takes center stage, mental health is often ignored and brushed under the carpet. Though it is a currently trending topic, very few of us really understand what mental health really means. So, welcome to today's episode of Mental Health Unplugged, where we'll talk a little bit about what mental health is to be able to improve our understanding and to be able to improve our mental health literacy. So, mental health as a term basically refers to our emotional, our psychological, as well as our social well-being. Right? It determines how we handle stress. It determines how well we're able to adjust to life's changes. It determines the kind of decisions that we take. It determines the kind of relationships that we make with the people around us. So mental health covers almost every single aspect of our lives, and it is present right from the time we are born to the time we die. Right? It is not something that is there only during adolescence or only during early adulthood, but it is there ever since we are born right till the day we die. Right? So what makes up mental health? So in terms of physical health, we know that we need to be active, we need to avoid a sedentary lifestyle, we need to be able to rest well, we need to be able to eat well to be able to stay physically fit. Right? So what are the elements of mental health that we need to be able to focus on? Right? So there are three important elements that we talk about when we talk about mental health, which is your biological aspects, your psychological aspects, and your social aspects. Right? So when we say biological aspects, it is the things that are determined by your genetics, it is your age, it is your gender, it is your physical health, it is the genetic your genetic history, it is the family history of psychiatric illness. All of that forms part of your biological element of mental health. When we talk about your psychological element of mental health, we refer to your personality traits, we refer to your ability to deal with stress, we refer to your decision making skills, we refer to your rational thinking, your analytical thinking. All of these come into your psychological aspect of it. When we're talking about the social aspect of it, we talk about the kind of social environment that you are in, whether it is at home, whether it is with your neighbors, whether it is at work. Right? So your work culture, the amount of stress that is there at work, the kind of friends that you have, the kind of relatives that you have, all of these contribute to your social environment, which makes up the social aspect of your mental health. Now, with this biological, social, and psychological aspects, there is only one that is actually really under your control, which is the psychological aspect of it. Right? Biological aspect, there's nothing that you can do about it because you are born with it. Social aspect, there's very little that you can do with the social environment around you. You can definitely try to make changes. You can try to influence it to make it work in your favor, but a large part of it is out of your control. Right? But when we talk about the psychological aspect of it, the kind of thoughts that you have, the kind of things that you do, the actions that you do, the routines that you have on a daily basis, these are things that are largely under your control. Right? And when we talk about improving mental health, when we talk about being able to focus and become resilient or become mentally healthier, we talk about the focusing on the psychological aspect of it. So when we're talking about the psychological aspects of mental health that is in your control, we come upon a very important term called the cognitive triad. Right? Meaning three important things that make up your psychological aspects, which is your emotions, your thoughts, and your behaviors. Right? So these form the cognitive triad. Your emotions are covert, meaning they are covered. It's not really very visible to the other people around you. You could be feeling sad, person sitting next to you may not know you're sad until you express that sadness. Right? So it is something that is covert, it is something that is within you. Your thoughts is another part of the cognitive triad. Again, it is not something that's visible to the people around you unless you express it in words or in writing. The person who's sitting right next to you may not really know what's going on in your mind. Right? So again, this is something that is a covert aspect of your psychological element. Then you have the behaviors, which is the overt aspect, because people around you can see. Right? So when you act out in a certain way, when you behave in a certain way, people around you are able to see it. It's visible, and hence it becomes an overt aspect of your psychological element. Now these three aspects, the cognitive, the emotional, the thoughts, and the behaviors are all interconnected. Right? So your emotions determine your thoughts determine your actions or your behavior. Right? So when you're feeling sad, when you're already feeling a little low and you're feeling blue, your thoughts are going to be in line with that. Right? They're not going to be of a completely different emotion. You are going to be feeling hopeless, you are going to be feeling helpless, you're going to be feeling, what am I doing, is it all worth it? Right? So these So this is how your thoughts are influenced by your emotions. And then when you are thinking low thoughts, when you've got negative thoughts, when you're thinking low of yourself, you are not going to be dancing in happiness, right? Your actions, your behaviors are going to be in line with the emotional content of your thoughts, right? So you're going to want to be isolated, you're going to want to sit by yourself, you're not going to want to go out and voluntarily meet people or voluntarily pick up the phone and call people to be able to have conversations with them, right? So this is how your emotions interact with your thoughts, which influence your behavior at the end of the day, right? And when we slowly start bringing about a change in any one of these aspects, it indirectly brings about a change in the other two aspects as well. So when you talk about counseling, when you talk about therapy, we focus a lot to do with these three elements of it, especially in something that we call cognitive behavior therapy, right? We focus a lot on our thoughts and our behaviors to be able to help make us feel a little better, in turn improving our mental health, right? So we move from poor mental health, from illness to wellness. So now that we've understood what mental health is, we also need to know why it is important, right? Why is it that we have started talking about mental health of late? Why has it become a point of consideration? Why has it become a point of mainstream conversation, right? It is not that the generations before us didn't have mental health, everyone had mental health, right? So why are we focusing on it today, right? Is it because the lifestyle that we currently follow is prone to making us feel a little ill? Is it the fact that we don't have access to adequate resources that makes us not be resilient and be up to the mark, right? So why is it important? So mental health is directly related to our quality of life. The better our mental health, the better our quality of life. Mental health also kind of determines our personal development, right? Who we are as people, how I can work to my best potential. Mental health also determines the kind of relationships that I have with the people around me, right? Whether it is my family members, whether it is my friends, whether it is the relationships that I have at work with my peers, with my managers, all of these are determined by mental health, right? And mental health also improves our productivity, right? It improves our efficiency, it improves our productivity, it makes us be able to pay better attention to things. It helps us focus better, and when we are feeling better, we do better the tasks that we are given, right? So mental health technically affects every single aspect of our lives, with quality of life being the most important, and it is directly correlated to our mental health status, right? So this I hope has motivated you to be able to focus on mental health a little bit, to be able to start working on your own mental health and possibly the mental health of people around you, because we can always be kinder and more supportive in our interactions with the people around us, right? So hope this is some food for thought. I will see you soon. Take care till then.